How do you prioritize your day and deal with distractions? Let's talk about that. Hey guys, Donnie Dellinger here with National Wealth Center Team Legacy. What's the best way to prioritize your day and deal with distractions? So this is something I really wanted to get out to you guys. I wanted to get out early. So I'm actually out. I'm running out to getting dog and cat food, running some errands. And I figured, I'm going to multitask. I'm going to get this video out to you guys as fast as possible so I can go ahead and shoot this while I'm driving. Don't worry, I'm not using my hands to hold the my phone. So what's the best way to prioritize your day? Me personally, I'm a list builder. I love to make lists, and it's something that I can have right there in front of me, and it helps me know what I need to get done. And for me, the best time to do it is either in the morning or the night before. Usually I'm hanging out with my wife at towards the evening time after the kids go to bed. We like to hang out. We like to watch some shows, some comedy or something like that. And sometimes I'll have my computer with me, and I might still be messing around doing some work stuff. So that might be a good time for me to go ahead and think about what do I need to do the next day and kind of make a list. Sometimes I don't do it then. Sometimes I wait till the next day. I start my day off going to the gym, or if it's a nice day, I go out on a run. So it depends. If I'm going to the gym, sometimes I'll bring my iPad. I'll bring some stuff to listen to look at, to read on. So while I'm, if I'm on a treadmill or an elliptical or something like that, I can, still try to learn and think about the kind of things I want to, either shoot a video on, write about in my blog, or just different strategies and skill sets. I'm learning more skill sets. I'm trying to learn more skill sets every day. So that's something I'm always trying to do, either at the gym, or if I'm running, I'll either put a recorded call, so a recorded training or something like that in my MP3 player on my phone, and I'll listen to that while I'm running. So usually I'll get a good idea of how I want to structure my day, what do I need to get done while I'm working out. So when I get home, I spend an hour working out, so when I get home, I go ahead and get cleaned up, and then I go right to making my list, and I prioritize it. So I'll put down, okay, video vlogging. This is an A. I'll put an A for priority, right? And I'll make a list throughout the day. Okay, I have an appointment here, A. I need to call this person back, A. Whatever it is, I'll prioritize it and I'll put an A by it. That's a good method to do. And then you can always make stuff that is not like number one priority. It might be like second priority. Okay, you can put a B for that. So you want to get done with your A's first before you move down to your B's. And then you can put little miscellaneous steps on your list, and I usually mark that with a C. That's something that I can get to or I cannot. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't affect my day. But I try to make a list, a schedule per se. And it always depends on the day. There's webinars that I go to all throughout the week. There's conference calls that I jump onto. So there's all these, and especially appointments too. Appointments with prospects, appointments with teammates. So throughout the day, I'm always marking down, and depending on the day, I might have more webinars, conference calls, appointments than other days. So I can, I always have to put those down and put the time down first, so I can work around that and say, okay, if I have like a 10 o'clock appointment, I know, okay, I'm going to try to get this, prioritize it where I'm going to get my video at least shot and the blog written by then, or something like that. I'll see how much time I have, and I'll give myself a deadline. And a really good method to use for this, there's timers. I know on the iPhone there's a timer built in. You can either do a stopwatch or actually a timer, and it sets off an alarm. So I like the timer because it sets off an alarm. And it's so if somebody called you and you were talking to them on the phone and your timer went off, they're not going to hear it because it's an alarm setting. They're not going to hear the alarm buzzing. So I like that part about it. But that's a good method to use. Sometimes I use that. I'll set a timer, say, okay, this is how much time I'm allotting myself to get this done until I move on to the next thing. So that's a really good method to use. And there are a lot of different tools to do that. Tools for list building. And I'm not going to go through all this the software stuff that I use. I do like a couple ones on the phone. I like to use my phone as much as possible. There's apps, which I believe might be on Android as well, but there's Things, there's Wunderlist. Those are a couple good ones. I know there's some software and computers that you can help prioritize your day. But I would just look at whatever app store you use and look at to-do list. Look at list building. And most of those, it lets you put in a deadline time. It's going to give you a timer, an end date or an end time. So that's a good way. That's a good way and method to do it. But in this business, not everything always goes to schedule. I could have a dead set schedule, and then things happen. I might get calls during the day. A prospect might call me, and depending on if I'm available, I'll pick up every single time. I will talk to a prospect when they call me. A lot of times, sometimes I might miss a call. A teammate might be on the phone with me, or might be on the phone with another prospect, and I'll miss another important call where they're calling me while I'm on the phone, and that's another person I'm going to have to call back when I'm available. Or sometimes it's just critical that I can't get on the phone when people call, so I'll get back to them as well. So that's things that I didn't plan for, but then that needs to be taken care of. So that's gonna shift my schedule some. So you always have to have some leadway in your schedule for shifting. And that's why sometimes if I might plan on eating lunch around 12, I might not eat lunch till like 1:32, depending on the shift in my schedule. So that's pretty much how I do my my list building. Sometimes it's just I'll use an app. Sometimes I always have a notepad next to me, next to my computer. So I do all my work on my laptop. So I'll have my list right there, just so I can cross it off and know what I have to do that day. So sometimes it's as easy as just writing on my notepad. But that's how I prioritize my day. So that's what I have to get done. And I always I try to get as much stuff done when my kids are in school. I have middle school and elementary school kids, so they get home around 3 to 3:30. So I always try to get done with at least the videos and all that kind of stuff as early as possible to get all that stuff done. And usually when they get home, I'm either helping out with homework, and I still might have some other stuff to do, so my day gets a little bit more relaxed. So that's something that I would add, depending on what do you have going on that day. When do your kids go home? Do you have little ones that aren't in school yet? You might have to have more flux in your schedule. You might have to have a different set of schedule compared to what I have. So that's just something to do. It's good to be consistent too. Whether if all your Mondays are the same versus all your Tuesdays, there could be a difference in schedules, but they might be same to same week to week. So that's always a good thing to have, is like a set schedule that you can have for every Monday. This is what I'm doing. Every Tuesday I have to spend more time with the kids or something like that. But then Wednesday I'm back on track doing more marketing. So that's a good method to figure out what do you have to do that day, prioritize it, and then fit in your marketing, your prospecting, and all that. So let's talk about distractions real quick, because that's it's really easy to get distracted because you're working from home, you're working where you like to lay down, take naps, watch shows, play video games, where you got all the toys in your house. That's where it's so easy to get distracted. Especially with binge watching. If you're getting into a show you watched the night before, it's really easy to say I want to watch more and binge it if you still on Netflix or Hulu or something like that. And that's especially with YouTube. And that reminds me of a comic that I like. It's a web comic that these two guys are in front of the computers, like, let me show you this video on YouTube. And then the next panel, there's two skeletons sitting there in front of their computer because they all the time got sucked into watching the videos. And it's so true, and I'm guilty of that. I'm watching a video and you see another video that you're interested in. I'm a big movie buff, so if I ever see any kind of Easter eggs in a movie that I like, especially Star Wars or the Marvel series, there's tons of videos on Easter eggs, any kind of thing like that. I'll watch a clip and I'll see another one that interests me and I'll go from there, and it's so easy to get sucked into that. And especially YouTube and Facebook are really the worst. And that's funny because those are the two methods. YouTube is being my primary method of marketing, and I do a lot of Facebook marketing as well. I try as best not to stay on there longer than I have to. I'll get on there, do my post, put my video up, and really try to get off as fast as possible. I'll check to see if there's any messages, any comments. And if there's not, I will get off. I will get off as fast as possible, because it's so easy, especially Facebook or something, just to browse, and before I know it, my kids are home, and I'm wondering, where did my day go? So that's a big important aspect. To know your limitations, know when to leave and get off. So usually what I'll do, I'll usually treat myself when I'm eating lunch. If I'm whatever, having a salad, a shake, or a wrap, or a sandwich, or something like that. Whenever I get around to eating lunch, whether it's on my schedule or shifts, I'll eat lunch, and then I'll if there's a skit or a little show that I want to watch, I won't sit down and watch an hour show, but something short while I eat, just to give myself that break. That comedy relief through the day that will help me keep going. And there's a lot of shows that I like, Key and Peele, that do little skit comedies that I can just sit there and watch. And, 15 minutes down the road, I'm done, or whatever, 20 minutes, I'm good, and I had that break. So that's kind of that treat where it stops me from wanting to watch, shows or play games or anything like that when I get bored, or, I just want to be distracted because I'm at home. That's a good method for me. So I give myself that little treat at lunch if I get done with everything before on my schedule before my lunch was set. So if I got done with all the priority, everything on my list that I prioritized as being the most important before lunch, then I'll treat myself to a little comedy show just to get some laughs in. So it really kind of depends on the day. I don't do that all the time, but that might be a good method if you guys want to help treat yourself a little bit. It really just depends on your schedule too. It depends on how packed you are. It depends on how many calls you might have to put out or get on. So, but that's kind of like my daily routine. That's how I set up my list. That's how I deal with distractions. And guys, let me know how you deal with distractions. So I hope this video helped you out some. Guys, if you like this video, like it, tickle that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.